Boyfriend 25M drunk kissed another girl. What do I 24F do? My 24F boyfriend 25M kissed another girl while drunk. Only a small kiss, confirmed nothing else happened. She was a friend of a friend they went out with that night, they have no history whatsoever. Apparently they had some kind of serious heart-to-heart that night, and they kissed before going to their respective places via Uber. We've been together for about a year now. This is 100% cheating in my books. He told me the day after, although he did text me in between like nothing happened. He is extremely remorseful and said it truly meant nothing to him, and he is working towards figuring out why it happened. I do really love him and we have a lovely relationship, but I feel like the pain he caused me makes it feel not worth it anymore. We are not speaking at the moment to give me space. Has anyone been in this situation? Just looking for some clarity and advice. Edit. Thank you everyone for reading and for your support. Honestly, I need a lot of time to reflect on what I want and need. To answer some common questions, it was certainly a peck because this story has been corroborated by friends of mine and the actual girl he kissed. He does not have a drinking problem. He rarely drinks or goes out with his friends without me, which also concerns me that of the few times he did, this happened. I am not trying to make excuses for him, I'm just trying to show how difficult it is for me to understand why this happened. I am so hurt and I can't stop thinking about it. I am unfortunately someone who tends to forgive especially when I love the person, but I need to start respecting myself. I love him, but I love myself even more. Hopefully over the next few weeks I'll get to where I need to be to make a final decision. If you stay, then you have to put this past you. No throwing it in his face, no bringing it up during arguments, no secretly holding resentment. If you can't do that, then it's best to walk away. Rebuilding trust takes time and effort from both of you. You have to let him show you that you can trust him. If you can't do that or don't want to do that, then walk away. He cheated. He's trying to figure out what happened. Lol. He knows what he did. Can you ever trust him again? That's up to you. I personally wouldn't give a cheater a second chance. How do you know it was just a small kiss and nothing else? What was their heart-to-heart about? Why was he out drinking and having heart-to-hearts with her? Do you even believe him? Trust is fragile and once it's gone, it's gone. I'd break up and move on. Literally nothing is stopping him from doing this again if you stay. He has no good reason for why he did it this time and there'd be zero consequences. You can choose better for yourself. He can figure out why on his own time. You're right, it's 100% cheating. Drunk or not, your boyfriend is an adult who surely knew better. If his impulse control is so pathetic that he could not help but cheat on you after a drink, that's a him problem, too. You could forgive him if you like. Couples have moved on from greater transgressions than this. But you don't owe it to him if you don't want to. He fucked around. He can find out. Girl, PLZ. This is cheating 100%. No one does these things just because THEYRE drunk, that's just an excuse. You only know what they told you. Be careful, friends cover for friends too and sometimes choose another friend over the other. Do I break up with my girlfriend? 19 male and 18 female. So me and my girlfriend have been dating for a few months now, and I don't know what to do at this point. She is always with me and she gets super mad when I don't respond to her text in 1 second. Anytime I ask for some me time she loses it and says I hate her. I am also not allowed to go to bed without her going first because if I do I'm leaving her. She also wants to be on FaceTime 24/7 while I'm at work, which I cannot do as I work with hazardous materials. She is new where we live and she doesn't know a lot of people, but she refuses to go out and meet some people and clings to me. I just need advice on what to do to help me fall in love with her again. Yay, break up with her. This is not a healthy relationship. She's smothering you. None of her behavior is normal. You're too young to be dealing with this. Leave her alone as she will only hinder you from growing and being your best you. You can't even sleep unless she sleeps. That will translate into other things that will negatively affect you. She has some serious attachment issues, is insecure and therefore controlling. Don't do that to yourself. You're too young for that kind of drama. Let another guy deal with that. Dump her to save your own mental health. You shouldn't have to fall in love again in a relationship that's only lasted a few months. Being together or being in constant contact is not attainable as an adult with a job. Don't sacrifice your safety for her comfort. I would just be honest and say it's overwhelming, and if that's not taken well you should reevaluate the relationship. Don't get me wrong, love me a clingy girl, but this is way too clingy. Look, if you feel you've fallen out of love, it's best to break it off. I would provide some sort of advice to you if you wanted to stay. However, you've gone all the other routes already, like trying to talk to her and help her out, and OFC expressing how this clinginess is making you feel. Red flags all over the place. Too fast too, and soon for any of this nonsense to occur. That's flat out weird and stalker-ish. People need space and a part-time. Work is essential. Obviously she is selfish if she thinks calling you every second of the day will benefit you on the worksite. I couldn't get through the whole thing because it sounds wild. Fiancé, 34F, tells me, 31M, that she doesn't care about my feelings? My fiancé, 34F, and I, 31M, have been together for almost 3 years, lived together, and have been engaged since March. We have issues like every couple, but the thing that drives me absolutely nuts is her spontaneous disregard for my feelings. An example would be this morning, as I was driving her to work. Normally she drives herself, but I offered as I finally have a less busy day and the roads suck. During an uneventful morning commute conversation I made mention of an extracurricular activity, virtual golf. That could have been something we did with my friend and his wife when we got together with them this last Sunday instead of what we ended up doing. Her immediate retort was something to the effect of, "Your friends are too king poor." The wife works in finance, and they both are well-employed professionals. She has said something like this several times now because she thought she perceived some subtle communication between them that indicated that they were on a budget. Comments like this are pretty common from her if she's in a negative mood. She typically rescinds them when she's calm. She, an upper-class Southerner, also says things like, "Your mom is an alcoholic whore. Your lazy-ass grandma. You come from trash and you are trash. We both make 6 figures, and I'm an educated self-made business owner," etc. Anyway, when she said that, I responded by saying that I don't like having my friends, family put down every chance she sees an opportunity and would like her to please stop. She then told me that she doesn't care what I feel and will continue doing it because she wants to, as if she enjoys it. This then morphed into her telling me that I always am starting fights and ended it with her telling me that she hates me and throwing her engagement ring at me. Which happens pretty much anytime we are at odds. What's nuts is that all I literally said is that I don't like that she constantly preys on opportunities to put people I care about down. She does it as if she is better than everybody. She is, by the way. She'll tell you, believe me. And would appreciate if she could respect that. Apparently, that's too much to ask? Outside of this stupid, petty, egotistical stuff, 99% of the content that makes up our arguments, we actually operate really well together. We are both tenacious professionals who enjoy the same interests, views, and goals. I don't want to end the relationship, but I need the key to say or do that doesn't make her immediately defensive, explosive, but adequately communicates things in a way that fosters healthy changes. Thoughts? What kind of man marries a woman who actively disrespects and shits all over his parents and friends? She's got zero respect for you. It's time to walk away and meet someone who isn't trash. She told you she hates you, doesn't respect you, doesn't care about your feelings. Believe her. Since she threw the ring at you, return it or sell it and use the funds to set up house somewhere without her. I think you would be a fool to marry her. Seriously. If you do, don't have kids because they'll grow up to be petty, horrid human beings that take joy from putting others down. I'm stunned that you're still engaged. So you're trying to find the right way to tell someone who openly doesn't care about your feelings that it's hurtful to you when she doesn't care about your feelings? I don't think there is a way to do that. I think you should be spending more of your energy trying to understand why you want to spend your life with someone who enjoys putting down people close to you and doesn't care if she hurts your feelings. Don't marry that woman unless you're into the idea of a life of misery. She will do this to her kids too. SMH. I don't think that key exists. Also, you'd be out of your mind to marry or even stay in a relationship with someone who has so much disdain for your family and friends, seemingly you as well. My M30 husband has a friend and tells me F32 that it's not an emotional affair? My 30SF husband, John, 30SM, and I have been married for 3 years and together for 4. We have kids and I'm the primary breadwinner. To keep this concise, I'll focus on the relevant details. Over time, John has stopped communicating with me throughout the day. He doesn't ask about my day or engage in casual conversation. I initially brushed it off, thinking it was just comfortable familiarity. About a year ago, John started school, joined a club, and made new friends. For the past couple of months, he's become very close with one friend in particular, who is also in a relationship. John confides in this friend about his past trauma and even our relationship issues. They game together, go to school together, and constantly communicate via Instagram, liking and hearting each other's messages. John insists there's nothing going on and has even offered to let me check his phone. My gut feeling told me something was off, so I did look through his phone. I found an inappropriate message and reel sent to him by this friend. When I confronted him, he dismissed it, saying they talk to everyone like that, and that nothing like that has ever happened before. Regardless of this friend's boundaries within their own relationship, I feel like this crosses a line in ours. John now has someone else he confides in, sharing his trauma and discussing who he finds attractive, celebrities, social media personalities. They spend a lot of time together gaming and hanging out. He doesn't tell me what they discuss, and I recently learned this friend even tells him they love him. Too long did not read. My husband has formed a very close relationship with a friend, confiding in them about personal matters and receiving inappropriate messages. In my eyes, this is an emotional affair. I need outside perspective. What we think and whether this would breach our own boundaries doesn't really matter. It is clear that what is happening is making you feel insecure. Once you're checking devices, your instincts are telling you that something is going on. The question now is what to do. It sounds like you've brought this up to him and he's not willing to address your concerns. Are you willing to break up over it? That's the real question. I would suggest you don't debate the taxonomy or definition of an emotional affair. Rather, you focus discussions with your husband on how this makes you feel, and that continuing this relationship with a friend will harm the relationship between the two of you. If that doesn't cause him to want to take corrective action on his own, then you might as well start considering what a divorce would look like. He's having an emotional affair, which quite frankly, is more destructive to relationships than random sex. If he will not ditch the friend, then you have your answer. Your relationship should be the priority. It's clearly not. You are his financial provider and she is his girlfriend. This friend is just the symptom, not the problem. Your relationship is falling apart. You don't talk with each other. According to your posts in this thread, you shoulder the whole mental, family load, while he obviously checks out of the relationship more and more, and I'd bet on it that you do too. Have you tried telling him about your day without him initiating by asking? Have you asked about his day? Have you told him that he needs to do his share in the relationship? Have you asked why he has this new confidant that takes over the role that is yours normally? Asked why he discusses your relationship problems with that friend instead of you? I agree with you. I think what he did was inappropriate and constitutes an emotional affair.